Welcome back to another Borderlands video, and this one is kind of a continuation of that tips video I did a while ago. In that video, well, A, there's a really good response, and B, there's a lot of good comments in comment section, I guess. Just about other good tips, and I thought, maybe I'll just continue to do videos on those, but go into a little more detail. Since the first one was pretty vague, which is feedback that I got, but it was kind of purposely done on that. So, in this one, I want to talk about farming. So, there's a lot of different aspects of farming, and this might actually go into a couple of different videos, because all this might just be too much. To start with farming, I wanted to talk about parts, because that's one thing I keep seeing people do. Now, there's kind of two kinds of getting parts, I guess. There's the illegitimate and there's the legitimate. Obviously, if you are using a save editor, aka Gib, you're going to just get whatever parts you want in the ultimate ideal ones. That's fine. Not making any judgments there, of course, obviously. That would be a hypocrite if I did. Now, the second part about it is kind of legit farming. So in my hand I have the Pimpernel, the lovely, lovely Pimpernel. Now, this is a quest reward. So on PC, you can put your save file to write only. Oh, sorry, read only. That'd be bad, write only. And just keep save quitting, which doesn't really save because it's read only. And just load back in, try again, load back in, try again. There's guides on this. Maybe I'll... fuck it. You guys can search it. You know how to use the internet. You go to a search bar and type in what you want to search for. So that's the way to do it. Now on consoles, you have the dashboard, and consoles have very long load times compared to PC. So especially on consoles, quest farming is a pain in the ass. Now, a lot of people watch videos such as this, so they say, I want that exact gun. If you are quest farming, especially quest farming on console, one important thing to do is have a list of priority parts, because to get a perfect gun with every part, the odds are astronomical, and you could spend days doing this. So the Pimpernel here, now this can come in fire, slag, shock, or corrosive. In some guns, like let's say you're going for the Sandhawk, which is also a quest reward in the same DLC, also comes in non-elemental. So already you have a 1 in 5 chance of that part. Now, if you need the grip on a Pimpernel, you can get Molly 1, Jacobs, Hyperion, Dahl, or Vladov. Am I missing one? So now to get both the perfect element and grip, it's 1 out of 10. Now you have accessory, and there's... I don't even know the count of accessories for snipers, maybe 8? So now you got about a 1 in 80 chance of getting your exact gun. And then if you add stock to that, there'd be another 5 stocks. So you see how the math is starting to go bad. You're looking at a 1 in 400 chance, maybe worse. And then if you want your sight, you're looking at, oh fuck. So what you need to do is have a list of what's acceptable to me. Now, there are certain guns, like the Pimpernel, it's a fucking amazing gun. You don't need one Pimpernel. You can get by with many Pimpernels. But you have to choose which are the parts that you really need. Now, not all guns are as flexible as the Pimpernel. So right here, I have my Jacobs grip, Hyperion stock, fire, barking Pimpernel. I'm just going to kind of shoot it so you guys can see that. But I also think that Monstrous is the third best, and I cover this in my Pimpernel guide. But to me, there's 3 acceptable Pimpernel prefixes. If I'm farming legit for one, and I have to keep rolling new ones, and to me that would be Barking, Banbury, which is fire rate, or Monstrous, which is magazine size. Like, Monstrous is actually pretty freaking cool. So this is the Monstrous Jacob's grip. That's Monstrous Mollywand grip. So stock-wise, this is part I wanted to really kind of dig into people, because here's where I find people really being too stingy is on the stock. So you just saw me shoot the Hyperion stock. So here's a Vladoff. A little bit higher, but not terrible. I should have done that side by side. But recoil management, I can handle that. This is a Mollywand stock, which is pretty good. That's not bad. It's obviously not quite as good, but it's not bad at all. And then I already did the Hyperion. So here we go again. Is this my doll? Why does that not look like doll to me? Have I just not used doll that long? That is my doll. Yep. Vladoff, Mollywand, Hyperion, and doll. So the doll is the best there. I'm going to go back to Hyperion one more time, so you guys can see that. Do I have a Hyperion Monstrous? I don't think the Monstrous affects it versus that damage, so go up a little. Oh, way off to the side there. I think I bumped it. You can see that didn't really go much higher. There we go. So with a little recoil reduction, I can manage all of those. The doll was obviously the best. It ended around here. Some of the other ones went higher. But that's without touching the joystick or the mouse. And with a little recoil reduction, you can control all of these. So I'll do another example here. Overcompensated there. You see, once I screwed up that initial overcompensation, I was able to keep it on target in a pretty close grouping there. So, really, on a gun like the Pimpernel, the stock's not that important as long as you don't get a Jacob stock. Maybe I should have brought a Jacob stock in to see that one too, but Jacob stocks are truly terrible. So, if you're farming for a Pimpernel legitly on console, on the stocks, you should only be concerned about not getting a Jacobs. You might have a sight preference, but I would be flexible on that. And then, for me, if I was farming them legit, it depends on the character you're playing and every stuff, thing and the level of patience, but I would accept either a Jacobs or a Mollywand grip. Now, some people might only accept a Mollywand grip. That's cool. I get that. I'm not arguing that point. But the more you can open yourself up. So if I've opened myself up to 4 stocks, 3 accessories, and 2 grips, now I've cut my farming time down by more than a half. I've really cut it down to where I have multiple versions. If I times all those together, if I'm just looking, let's say I'm just looking for a fire one. If I have 2 grips, 5 stocks, or 4 stocks, and 3 accessories, that would be 15 different versions that I could accept rather than 1. And I think it's more than 15. Maybe it is only 15. But that really opens it up. Now, some guns, this isn't as possible. You have your Red Text Torg shotguns, Carnage, Flacker, Sword Explosion. Pretty much all of those you need a vertical grip because they're low pellet count shotguns. The slow hand goes in there. Really? Nice. Mike is over here. Perfect on a farming video that I get a Mamorel over here.
How you doing?
So on a Torque shotgun, you're probably going to want a Torque grip. There's really no other grip on that. But if you can, and then you need a vertical prefix. So you're already locked into 2. Now you don't have to worry about elements because they're always explosive. So that's one thing down. But a stock on a Torque shotgun makes so little difference. You're really just not going to notice it. So eliminate the stock from your equation. Some people will go, oh, Hyperion stock is the best for these shotguns. And while that may be true, the difference that you're going to feel between a Hyperion stock and a Bandit stock or a Jacob stock or any of those is so little, especially on those slow shooting shotguns. You're just not going to feel it. So eliminate the need for the stock in that equation. And now all of a sudden your farming choices have gone dramatically up. I'm trying to think how many shotgun manufacturers there are. But I mean, instead of one version, maybe now you're looking at 6 different ones that you can get. And that's a big deal. You know, it's a 600% increase in your chances of finding the proper gun. Is that actually right? Maybe my math is wrong there. I think it is. And that's pretty sweet. So I keep seeing people, you know, they see videos like mine or other people's. They're like, yeah, I need this exact Pimpernel. I need this exact Sandhawk. I need this exact Lady Fist. You don't. The Lady Fist is another good example. The difference of DPS on a Bandit grip versus a Hyperion grip is, I think, 3.8% without any skills. And that's, I think Hyperion's up without any skills, but when, like, if I was Maya, let's say, with 10 out of 5 Foresight, because it has a bigger mag with Bandit and a higher reload speed, those percentages hit those more, so you get more out of Foresight with a Bandit grip than a Hyperion. And then Bandit actually turns the tables and it's up on DPS. But it's still by such a marginal, small margin that you're not going to really notice. I love how I'm healing the ground here. That's pretty sweet, right? You're not going to notice the difference between the Bandit and the Hyperion grip DPS-wise. You might notice, like, oh, the reload's taking a second longer on the Bandit than it did the Hyperion. But you're also doing more damage per hit with the Bandit and shooting for longer. So DPS-wise, you do that. The Lady Fist is another one. Like, yes, the damage accessory would be the best on that, because you have an 800% crit multiplier, and you get more out of that. But there's, a fire rate one DPS-wise might actually win. So now, if you can open yourself up to 2 grips and 2 accessories, you have 4 variations instead of 1. And if you can open yourself up to a 3rd prefix, do pistols even have magazine prefixes? For some reason, I'm drawing a blank if that's a prefix. But if you can open yourself up to a 3rd prefix on pistols, now you're loaded. Now you're up to 12 versions instead of 1. And you're going to have a much easier time farming these. Because, let's be honest, quest farming is pretty much the worst thing in the world. Melee Zeros really know it with, like, a Slag Eviscerating Ruby, where you have to get the 1 element out of 4, and you need the blade, and you don't really care about the grip. But sometimes they do, because that increases your Slag chance. So if you're going for, like, that perfect Ruby, I've heard horror stories of people farming that for like 3 days, 4 days, just to get that one ideal gun. So that is part 1 of this, parts. And the message is don't be so picky on every part, because in reality, the difference of DPS on a lot of these parts is not as big as you think it is. And then, in the pre-sequel, especially with Moonshines, don't even fucking go there with Moonshines. But the difference with a lot of these stocks are less than you think. And if you shoot a wall, you can see the difference. But you should be able to manage recoil. it's not that hard to manage some recoil there. That's a small grouping. Now, if I let go of the trigger, it's a bigger grouping. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal to manage some recoil. And like I said, on shotguns, you just don't notice it on many shotguns. So, even the Hyperion ones, where there's been a lot of talk about, which one and all the min-maxing of all these ones, in reality, they all work pretty good. It's getting pretty petty to go down to that stuff. And I am a guy that talks about parts of my ideal parts, but that's more of like a dream world or a save editor world than an actual farming world. Because not only quest farming, but any other farming, if you're going for a bitch from the bunker, which is already terrible to farm, you better be able to accept at least 2 accessories, 2 grips, and be open to probably 3 or 4 stocks. Because really, the stock on the bitch doesn't matter because it's recoil, so you should really be open to all stocks. You should be open to bandit or Hyperion grip, and at least damage or fire rate accessory. Now, by doing that, you have drastically increased your chances of getting a bitch that you will accept. So, yeah, that's part 1 on parts farming. Sorry, you're just watching me run around sanctuaries. I do this. I couldn't think of a good thing to do during this. Part 2, and I think I am just going to separate these into different videos because I'm already putting out like hour-long videos of my playthrough of Borderlands 1, so I don't want to go and put out like a half-hour video on this. So I'll try to keep these each to about 5-10 minutes. And I'll be releasing these kind of in between my pre-sequel, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. So I'll do 2 of those. I'll do the test dummy one, and then the kind of field test Hyperion Hub one, and then I'll do one of these. So my first few ones are going to be farming. The next farming topics are going to be world drop farming, and then it's going to be boss farming. And I don't think I really have to do quest farming because this one kind of covered that. And hopefully this one applies to all of them. And if you guys have any other ideas and stuff you want me to do for these, let me know, and I will definitely do those. So, thanks for watching once again. Sorry this was kind of a boring video, just me talking and running around Sanctuary. The other ones will have a little more action. So, thanks for watching one more time, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.